untreated heartburn or acid reflux can lead to cancer, which is pretty crazy. If you want a way to force your body to permanently stop acid reflux and heartburn in 48 hours, click the link in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question: what are permanent solutions to treating Gerd? What are the success versus complication rates? Answer by Rajinder Bala. Gerd is fluid imbalance in the body. Kidneys are responsible for fluid balance in the body. So Gerd is an indication of poor kidney function. Poor kidney functions cause high BP, heart diseases and stroke. Restoring the fluid balance taken 48 hours. To restore good kidney function. Walking 5 minutes every hour also helps in improving the kidney functions. Curing acidity, GERD, kidney stones and subsequent acidity. I had kidney stones for 3 years in a row. The stones were small and I went to doctors in time. The stones were removed by giving diuretics, antibiotics, drips of saline water and muscle relaxants, through urine. This was shocking. I was an all-rounder. I was a sports person who would love to play any game that was going around. Sports was my first love. We were taught that sports is good for health. The doctor told to drink 6 to 8 liters of water daily. After first year kidney stone I took special care to drink enough water, but in spite of that I developed kidney stones. I was confused. I was worried. Around this time, I suffered from acidity. I could hardly eat anything. Even if I drank water, I felt that I was full up till my throat. I could not tolerate any spices or oily food. I took antacids, injections, medicines. I took a lot of care in deciding what I should eat. Nothing worked. Every passing day the things were getting worse. There was no improvement. I stopped taking interest in business. I started studying health-related matters on internet. I was shocked to find that there was no cure for any ailment. All my life I used to believe that doctors can cure any disease. Now it was only health and nothing else. I thought if I am healthy, I can earn money for 3,040 more years. Otherwise I will end up spending all money on doctors and hospitals. Today I'm 100% fit. No health issues. I can work for 16 to 20 hours a day. I did not spend any money on my treatment. To cut the long story short, I experimented on hydration, dehydration cycles and found that these can cure any disease. I found that dehydration is equally important along with hydration. If any wants to get 100% relief from acidity without any medicine in 48 hours. Day 1. Drink 100,200 milliliters water every hour from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Day 2. Do not drink any fluids. Or drink as little as possible. If you find it difficult to stay without water and other fluids for 36 hours at a stretch, minimize your water, fluid, intake on this day. You may not get 100% relief in 48 hours in case you could not stay without drinking water on day 2. But repeating day 1 and day 2 every week will give 100% relief in a month or so. Thereafter every month repeat day 1 and day 2. As things progress, you may repeat day 1 and day every time there is change in the temperature of more than 10 degrees centigrade. An interesting story. I was discussing my experiences of hydration/dehydration with a group of yoga instructors. During the course of discussions the yoga instructors mentioned that they suffer from acidity in a big way. I was surprised. I could not answer. But I kept looking for an answer. Later I found an answer to the acidity problem of yoga instructors. Yoga has some breathing exercises. During these breathing exercises CO2 is exhaled. CO2 is slightly acidic. When a person starts yoga, he feels overall improvement. Most of the well-to-do people have acidic buildup in their body. By doing breathing exercises, the acid load of the body starts reducing. In few months the person recovers from acidic body. Now his body becomes too alkaline. The acidity problem is faced when there is acid buildup or alkaline buildup. Later I asked the yoga instructor to stop drinking water for 36 hours. I also suggested him to stop yoga for 7 days. After 36 hours he was completely cured of his acidity. To me, cure means no restrictions of meals. Once a person is cured of acidity he can eat any oily thing in any quantity. Not that I recommend such poor choices of food. But that is the meaning of cure to me. And one must indulge in such things once in a while. Answer by Bill Stein. First, there are other prescription medications that can be tried, but if you're tired of popping pills, or if you have Gerd caused by a hiatal hernia, you are a potential candidate for laparoscopic anti-reflux surgery. This surgery is very non-invasive and has an excellent success rate. The actual surgery is called fundoplication surgery for gastroesophageal reflux disease. GERD. During fundoplication surgery, the upper curve of the stomach, the fundus, is wrapped around the esophagus and sewn into place so that the lower portion of the esophagus passes through a small tunnel of stomach muscle. This prevents that straight line from the stomach up the esophagus. Yes, we know it's not a straight line, but you get the point. Also, if your Gerd is caused by a hiatal hernia, that will be repaired during the same surgery. There are risks. One of the biggest risks is bloating and gas buildup because the person cannot burp. The gas buildup may become more of a nuisance than the Gerd was. Fundoplication surgery is not reversible, so the new symptoms would become permanent, so you may end up replacing a toothache with a headache, so to speak. There are, of course, the normal risks to surgery, related to infection, surgical complications, and anesthesia use. But that risk needs to be weighed against continuing to have to take medication for the rest of your life, because when anti-reflux surgery is successful, it means a near-permanent cessation to Gerd without medication. Answer by Chris Robinson. On a personal note first, I suffered Gerd all my life and was on PPIs for 15 years, the last few on very high dose, 80 mg omeprazole a day, and supplementing them with other antacids and alginates before I had surgery. Don't be put off by the scare stories about PPIs. The research papers have shown a correlation between patients with some conditions and those using them, but they do not show causation. Popular media are prone to misrepresent the facts and do not know the difference. Read this page to understand the dangers. PPI dangers. Barrett's-Essex and PPIs have been shown to probably have a chemoprotective effect, preventing heartburn developing to cancer. http://www.ncb, NLM, NIH. gov/PMC/article/PMC4199831/ For a more permanent solution without drugs, the laparoscopic Nissen fundoplication is the gold standard. This paper published in 2014, 20 years later, laparoscopic fundoplication durability. Concluded, long-term results from the early experience with LF are excellent, with 94% of patients reporting only occasional or fewer reflux symptoms at 20-year follow-up. However, 18% required surgical revision surgery to maintain their results, and I can vouch for its efficacy from first-hand experience. You may read more about reflux reduction techniques here. Reflux reduction, down with acid. And a word of caution about one of the other answers. Chris Presser has not serious credentials and is an expert in usurping scientific language to further his alternative medicine practice. He is an acupuncturist, not a gastroenterologist. It was partly to combat the snake oil salesman. The definitive encyclopedia, Down with Acid, was published free.